Hi, this is Ricardo Hernandez with Merced Window Cleaning, and in this video I'm going to show you how to do a roof soft wash. So as you can see, this roof is asphalt shingles and we cannot pressure wash, so we are going to do a soft wash. In order to soft wash the roof, um, we need to remove all the debris, and the more we can remove this moss that is here growing, um, before we do any application. So in this particular roof, we can actually walk. It's a walkable roof, but in other cases, we might have to do it from the ladder and then never walk on the roof. So for this job, we pretty much need a brush. There is several type of brushes that we can use for this. It depends for what works the best for the particular job. We have these ones as well. Uh, we will need an extension pool like this, gloves, the leaf blower, so we can blow everything once the debris is loose. And we just get sections like this. I'll start from the top. We just want to remove all the big particles of moss. And we don't have to worry too much about the little moss, because that one is going to get killed with the Softwash solution, and it will fall between 2 and 3 weeks. Um, for any lichen like this, there is lichen. That one will take a little bit longer to die, but that's why we soft wash it as well, so we can treat it. So right now I can get all this section that way. Sometimes it works good with this tool. Sometimes you have to use the brush that is here, but we have to do it very gentle just to knock off the moss. And sometimes it might get loose, or your attachment as well. So here is where I was working. I removed part of the moss right there, and with the leaf blower we are going to blow this at the end. But here is where I still need to remove moss. It's pretty much all the front of the house covered. um, so after we do the removing all the debris, we clean the gutters. That way we don't clean the gutters first and then we fill them with moss. So here are the gutters that really need the cleaning. We also pick up the debris on the valleys. This is already included in the job. And in the back there is plenty of debris as well. We're going to bag all that before we soft wash the roof. Here's more debris. And even some uh, weeds in the gutter. So for this one, we need to take pictures of any damage that we notice. I already did for this in this particular case. And yeah, we will get all this moss removed first and then clean the gutter. Okay, now as you can see, most of the moss is being removed and is just sitting on the roof. So I'm just going to blow it, and most of it is going to fall into the gutter. Some is going to fall on the ground, but we are going to clean it up after. there is another section in here, which is also north facing. And in this case, there is this area that is mossy as well. So I'll just okay. And when you are done, you are going to notice sometimes a little bit of moss left between shingles. If it's very big, you can go back really quick and um, brush it off. But if it's small, you're going to get that, and you don't have to remove everything. As long as it's like 80-90% like remove, that's perfect. Uh, the rest of the moss is going to die with the treatment. And after we have finished removing all the debris, all the moss, and use the leaf blower, and also clean the gutters. At this point, we just need to flush. That one is clogged, as you can see here. It's full of dirt, so we will need to use our declogger tool and flush. We are setting up a hose for that, and then we are going to prep the Softwash solution, which is getting prepared over there at the truck. All right, so now that we have removed the moss, blow any debris from the roof, clean the gutters, and fix the downspots so they are not clogged, we have put some bags in the downspots that have that are not connected to the ground. We just put a bag and some blue tape, uh, and that's for collecting the bleach. And now we have prepared here our solution, which is for this size of the house is approximately 35 or 30 gallons of solution at 5%, which means we put half of pure bleach, which is 10%. So it will be about the halfway of this container. We fill it with water, so we have to have a hose ready here. We already did it. We put when it's full of water, we add some laundry detergent, 2 cupfuls, and then we connect our hose, which I previously stretched all the way, so we don't have to keep feeding with hose. Otherwise, it's going to be very hard when it's connected to our pump. We cannot like really spin this reel anymore. So we have to make sure we have all the hose we are going to need for the job. Then we have here our 12-volt pump, which is already connected to this other hose. That is the one that intakes the bleach, the solution, and then this one connects to the reel. And then the pump has this mm, um, extension which goes connected to the battery. It goes to negative, of course, for black, negative, and then for red, the positive. And once you connect it, you will have it will work for like 1 minute, and it's going to pump all the solution into the hose. And once it's all full of solution, we're gonna start spraying. So I always like to mix it for like 1 minute, make sure everything combines the soap, because you want to add the soap at the end. That way it doesn't bubble up while you are putting the water. So I already did 1 minute. It's good to go. And you want to have your PPE, some sort of glasses to protect your eyes. Also, this mask and uh, a towel always comes handy for like cleaning your glasses in case you get some solution or some water. Um, of course, your gloves. Uh, any like plastic gloves works. So now let's go to the roof. And before we start cleaning the roof, we need to make sure we have a hose here, and somebody helping us, or we have to do it before we go if we are by ourselves. But we need to spray water to all the plants around where we are going to be working. And when we have the gutter and windows there, we need to get the gutter wet, um, just so when the bleach comes, it doesn't stain the gutter. It's not a stain, but it's like cleaning the gutter, and it's going to leave like streaks of clean gutter versus the previous color of the gutter. So that doesn't look very good. So one is either like pre-wet the gutter before we clean the um, roof, or the other one is to do the job and at the end make a solution of the same concentration of bleach and use a brush to clean the gutter, and it's going to look very nice. But um, it's normally easier to not do that, just get the gutter wet. But in this case we have windows here, so we can use half full bucket with a brush and just do this. And make sure the gutter gets the water. That way when the bleach touches the gutter, it's going to dilute and not stain the gutter. So that's when you have windows, but in this side there is no window here and there is a gutter, so we can easily just spray just like that, and then we can start washing the roof. So I already have my hose here. Just going to make sure I have enough for going up. And I'm going to the furthest place where I'm going to be working just to make sure we have enough hose and we don't have to be back and forth. So that's all I'm going to need for this job. I just need to do a section in the back and the whole front. It's good to check in the app. Most of the jobs is going to be only the parts where the mouse is or lichen, but in some cases the homeowners want the full roof, so we have to check that in the order. Now, before I start, I'll wear my um, mask. These pink cartridges are for organic acids, and it's going to help me not breathe the bleach because it's a 5% and it's a strong concentration. So you want to have a respirator for that. So you want to start from top to bottom, just like this, and the solution is going to start running down. That will help you save some solution. And here you always have to be careful on the edge, not to overspray stuff, especially fences. They can change the color if you do that, so be careful. If you need to, you have to do the same thing we did with the gutter, with the wood. That way it doesn't stain. But in this case, we are safe here, especially if you are careful doing it this way, making sure all the edge is done first. That way you can focus right here. Instead of covering one area and continuing like that, it's always better if you continue getting wet the same spot over and over. That way the solution starts running and you make sure everything is very well covered and that you are doing a good job. Plus, it will help you a little bit saving product. As long as you see that mark of the solution running, you can follow it and it will help you kind of like push it and making a better coverage of the roof. It's always good to have enough soap. If you think you need more, you can add more. That way it helps you see where you are spraying. It's nice to see the bubbles for that. hmm Here I'm going to make sure that corner is done completely. And when the solution arrives to the end of the roof and is dripping on in the gutter, that's when you know you are done. I'm going to do this other section the same way. And now I can go to another section. Of course, I still have this section, but I don't want to overspray it. My camera help. I'll do that other section now. Alright, so I'm all done spraying the solution, the Softwash solution in the roof. So the way to know it worked good is just by looking at the remaining moss. It needs to look white like that. It's bubbling up a little bit. So that means the moss is dead, and it will just dry and fall in the next rain or with the wind over the next couple of weeks. That's why it looks the most dead, and you can probably see quite some moss now, especially now that it's white. So we need to educate the customer and tell them how it will look, so they always feel relief when you tell them that is dead. So make sure you tell them why it means that it's dead. Here as well, it's going to come with a little bit of mud that was between the shingles, but that should be fine. And last, we are going to take some after pictures. Make sure you also take before when everything looks bad. That way you can send the proof to the customer, especially to the insurance company. They want to see the before and after. Make sure it's done so they don't have to cancel the homeowner's insurance. And it's always helpful to have somebody in the truck. When you run out of bleach, you are going to have a loss of pressure. So your helper or you can go put the intake hose of the pump into water with into a 5-gallon bucket with water. That way it rinses the whole hose inside and we don't have bleach remaining. So now if I spray anything else, that's just water. So I want to probably go to the curb and drain that water to make sure that the hose is not heavy. So okay. Now that we finished the software, we still have water because we changed the intake hose from the bleach to water. That way the 5 gallons go through the hose and replace the bleach. So now you want to open this at the curb and then unscrew the nozzle. and this is just all water, but it can go here in the curve, just to make sure we don't have weight in the hose, and then it will make it harder to reel. Also, as you saw previously, we had a bag here. We collected all the bleach solution, and we carried that into a bucket, and then we discarded that at the curb. It's already done, so the bags are here, and there is the solution. It's just going to dry, evaporate in the next few hours, and then we can put that in a trash can. For the pump, once you stop seeing water coming off the hose like that, then you just disconnect the power, close this, and then you can start pretty much disconnecting everything, rolling the hose, and putting away all the tools the best you can in the truck. In this case, we got quite some debris in bags, so we will have to make sure everything fits here.